So here we are in the NWO state of Colorado. This Colorado sheriff is willing to go to jail rather to enforce the proposed gun law. Weld County Sheriff Stephen Reams disagrees so much with the guns bill making its way through the Colorado legislature uh, he is willing to go to jail rather than enforce it. It's a matter of doing what's right, he said. He's not the only one feels this so strongly. The controversial red flag bill, the red flag law bill, aims to seize guns temporarily. This is BS because it would never be temporarily. That's their selling point. You and I both know, anybody with common sense knows it would never be temporarily. Okay? From people who are deemed to be a threat to themselves or society. That's right. Colorado State Senate passed a bill Thursday by a single vote without any Republican support, and the bill is expected to pass the House possibly this week. With the Democratic majorities in both chambers, state Republicans have too few votes to stand in the way. But more than half of Colorado's 64 counties officially oppose the bill. Many even declare themselves Second Amendment sanctuary counties in protest. Failure to enforce the court order to seize a person's guns could mean sheriffs being found in contempt. A judge could fine them indefinitely or even send them to jail to force them to comply. See, forced to carry out corruption. That's what this is. Forced to carry out corruption by criminals. See, this is not about any, no court can force this because, see, what you're really saying is we're going to decide who has the right to be able to defend themselves and who don't. That's really what you're saying. Anyhow, Reams says it's a sacrifice he'll be forced to make. What is the bill? Colorado Extreme Risk Protection Order. Bill would allow a family member, a roommate, or a law enforcement to petition a judge to take someone's firearms if they are deemed to be dangerous to themselves or others. Now you better pay attention to this part close because this is what I've been preaching and yelling and screaming at people, especially in the manosphere. It don't matter how much you disagree with me. I really don't care how much you disagree with me. If you don't open your eyes and pay attention, you're going to find yourself at the end of this. Then you're going to be whining and crying. And then, of course, I'm going to be sitting here looking at you, and you're all going to go quiet because that's what always happens when you find out I told you the truth ahead of time. You like, you got nothing to say, but meanwhile, you're sitting there running your mouth. Okay, but the reality is right here, okay? See, a lot right here, a family member, a roommate, or law enforcement to petition a judge to take someone's firearms if they are deemed to be a danger to themselves or others. And so one thing that I've had screamed at me many times in the past when TFL come aboard was that TFLers, and now we're going to label incel, which should be wincel, in the same category with TFLers, the manosphere, okay, are dangerous to society. Now, I have been told this many times. I posted a video up showing you somebody holding their finger in a pyramid position, a female, by the way, and saying my name and saying that was dangerous. That's right, I was dangerous. And even if I don't do something myself, somebody will listen to what I'm saying and do something themselves. Pulling an assumption out the ass to protect their power trip, to protect their corruption. But see, it's that very assumption right there that this kind of a law, man-made rule, will come down on you. And it'll be just as I've told you. And then we had Bozo the Clown show up on Steve Hoka's live stream last night. And Steve brought him in, and this is what I'm going to call him, Bozo the Clown. If he wanted to be a clown, he could put on a clown suit and he could go to a circus and entertain the children. But this clown, with no life experience, made all these assumptions, but one thing that he said at the very beginning goes into this. He goes, well, how's that? He talked about turd-flinging monkey, who I'm pretty positive is military-industrial complex, who is here to set you up. Well, turd-flinging monkey, see, now is promoting and pushing that women shouldn't have rights, that we should be promoting and pushing to take the rights away from women. Now, let me tell you how this plays out. This military plant, flinging monkey, okay, he's going to fling the propaganda at you, the programming at you, to get you to agree with taking rights away from women. In a society where women are placed above men, through the courts, through media, where male bashing happens 365 days a year on your television set, where simps and white knights are putting a woman above themselves, in a society that downgrades and slams men on a regular basis and places women above themselves, he's going to tell incels and TFLers that women should lose all of their rights. And then you're going to make videos and you're going to start parroting what he told you. And then this is what's going to happen. Okay, right here. The bill would allow family members and roommates or law enforcement, you better pay attention, or law enforcement, room member, roommates, anybody who may claim to know you, to do as I've been told so many times, to say that you're dangerous to society. Now they're going to come up and they're going to see you parroting what turd-flinging monkey told you in a male-bashing society, and you will be declared dangerous to society because you're pushing to remove women's rights, and you will lose your right to bear arms. Congratulations, turd-flinging monkey. Okay? For exposing yourself one more time. This is what's going on. And for you dum-dums that are too dense to understand what I'm telling you, that's not my stupidity. That's your stupidity. Because if you follow turd-flinging monkey's advice, you're going to parrot what he's saying, as Bozo the Clown did last night. And through doing so, as these bills come into effect in these states, they will be able to use this to strip you of your firearms. Congratulations, dumbasses. The push for legislation followed by the death of Zach Preacher the 29-year-old Douglas County Sheriff's deputy killed in 2017 by a man with an arsenal of weapons, who authorities had a history of blaze behavior, including threats to police. Okay, and I'm going to not even listen to this propaganda, because some of the stuff that I've seen used in other states to justify it was fraudulent shit that never took place. And there is no justification, even if one man was out of his head. The weapon never killed nobody. A weapon is an animate object. I have never, ever, ever seen a weapon grow a brain. Seen a weapon rise up off the table or the desk or out of its gun rack by itself, load itself, and float itself through the air with the greatest of ease, and point itself at somebody and pull its own trigger with no human intervention, with no human help. BS. And even if one man did this, that doesn't give you the right to disarm other people so that they cannot protect themselves against you, the criminals, who will never disarm yourself. And I stand with this sheriff for his willing to say, I will not enforce it, because it is complete corruption. And the court system that says, well, then we will blah, 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 blah. Well, that judge needs to have one of the orders he's threatening on others. This is what needs to happen to the judge, not the sheriff. The people should rally to lock the judge up, to try to enforce something that's against their constitutional right, their God-given right, not even a constitutional right, their natural right to protect themselves. You can't use some story like in other states they used fraudulent FEMA exercise drills that were only drills where nobody died, where they took them live and lied to the world and said people died that didn't die. And they used lies to pass this bill. And here they're using this man, okay? The House sponsor, Rep. Tom Sullivan, who also, Alex was killed in the Aurora, Colorado movie theater. Now, this is another phony baloney shooting. This never took place. So there you go. Now we have another fraudulent shooting that never took place being used to pass a bill. So here, right here, this is a lie being used to pass this bill. Yeah, and I'll say it again. Yes, this is a lie. This is a lie. You want me to say it over and over? I will. This is a lie. This never happened. This was phony news. This was theater. The rude theater was right. This was theater. This was a show, but never took place. Okay? Gretton says he don't lose any sleep if realms of another Colorado sheriff opt for jail instead of enforcing the court order. Now, instead of violating your natural rights and even your Constitution, instead of trying to tell you you don't have a right to defend yourself because we decided for you, the manosphere, that's right, who is preaching for taking rights against the very gender that's being placed above everybody else. How dare you attack the women and say they should have no rights and take the rights? You have some screws loose. You must be dangerous to society. You're an incel. Oh, man. There was a van run me over in Canada. Oh, man, you're an incel. Oh, you're a TFLer. Oh, you people are dangerous to society. You're from the manosphere. Oh, well, we better hurry up and use this type of stuff if you live in Colorado so we can take your gun from you. See, I'm not going to read any more of this. I have no need to. I got to what I needed to say here. Okay? This is going to go from state to state to state to state. This is the first attempt. This is the start of trying to strip the rights away from people, which they've been taking rights away from you. Every year you've been losing more and more of your rights. Okay? See, this is not a law. These lawmakers are above the law themselves. I've said this before. When the law doesn't apply to everybody equally, it applies to nobody then. And we already know these laws, these man-made rules, don't apply to everybody equally. If you're a president, if you're a senator, if you're a congressman, or if you're a vice president, or if you're somebody on the board of a corporation, or CEO of a corporation, that's right. Depending on your position in life, these rules don't apply to you. And if you're the criminals pushing these laws, they will never apply to you, even if somebody says you're dangerous to society. And you want to know who's really dangerous to society? The people pushing this. That's right. They are the ones that are really dangerous to society. But the problem is, see, we're going to allow our division, family members and roommates, our division, because none of us know how to treat one another. That's correct. Men and women alike don't know how to treat each other in today's society. Look at how you're treating each other. Even when I make a simple statement about do unto one as you want done unto yourself, people want to get angry at that. People want to say, oh, now you're preaching morals and you're preaching this. Use whatever wording you want. I don't care. Because it's like this. It's as simple as this. It's a common sense thing. Okay? If I talk about morals, I'm most likely going to be talking about the pornography all over the place. I'm not going to be talking about practice doing unto one as you want done unto yourself. But if I'm talking about behaviors, right here, allow family members or roommates or law enforcement to petition a judge to take someone's firearms, this is a behavior. If I'm talking about a behavior, the clown that came into last night's show with Steve Hoka, a behavior. The dweeb who took down 500-something videos that mimicked me, a behavior. A troll online, a behavior. Okay? White knights and simps who won't look into anything but will run their mouth, a behavior. See, when I'm talking about a behavior, then I say, yes, you must check yourself. Yes, you must be able to recognize right from wrong and try to check yourself and work on yourself, self-discipline, to do unto one as you want done unto yourself. But whenever I say do unto one as you want done unto yourself, somebody's going to try to take it out of context, or they're going to complain about moral, or they're going to complain about this or that. So they don't want to hear the truth, to what it's going to take to change things, but they want to whine and complain and bitch and beller about what others are doing onto them. So if you're not willing to go after the root cause, and you're not willing on an individual basis to recognize right from wrong and practice doing unto one as you want done unto yourself, then you don't have no room to complain about what's being done unto you. End of story. Because if you wanted to change, this is where the change is going to come from. And it's common sense and in your face. You know, and I don't like being that way, but I'm going to be brutally honest about it. I always have been. And I've been warning the manosphere about the red flag laws. I've warned the manosphere about who turd flinging monkey is. You can say that you're on a fence. I don't care. Be on your fence. But I've warned you to be on your guard. And you better understand this. He is preaching that women should not have rights. He's having followers following this saying, yeah, they're incel and TFL, and agree with him. Who are going to go out and parrot what he's saying. I'll guarantee you this guy's military-industrial media complex. He is saying what he's saying so you will parrot him so that somebody can come along and say, this guy is an inseller or a TFLer and he lives in the state of Colorado. And he says that women should lose all their rights. And then they're going to say, hold on a minute, let's wait. Oh, this guy's got some mental issues. He possibly is dangerous to himself and others. So we better take his gun from him. The petition will go through, and you'll lose your right to bear arms. All because you parroted what turd flinging monkey told you to say. You've lost your right to bear arms. It's so in your face. They're setting you up. But if you're not smart enough to see it, there's nothing I can do for you, because I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make him drink. And I can put it in your face and show you it, but I can't make you listen to me. And I'm not going to force you to listen to me. If you're stupid, then stupid will get what stupid gets. That's all I got to say.